I was traveling west on Torrance Boulevard. I was going to pull into a parking lot.
Okay, and the car with the P, that's your car
That's
for
my
plaintiff.
car, yes.
Okay.
And so I pulled off to the shoulder. It's not a big shoulder, it's kind of narrow. And I was turning into the parking lot going maybe 5-10 miles an hour. At that point, Socrates hit me basically as it's shown here. We pulled in and exchanged information.
Okay. Did you cut across lanes quickly to try to turn into the parking lot?
No, I was in that lane, and then I was on the shoulder, and then I was turning into the parking lot. I didn't cut across anything.
Okay. Did you have your signal on?
Yes.
All right, you can go ahead and step back to your,
Thank you.
to your podium. Now, there's a little bit of dispute about this.
Yes, there is.
Mr. Ostopacides, so let's look at your diagram next.
He came across the lane. This is his car right here, the defendant. He actually, it wasn't this close to this where he actually cut in. It was a little bit farther back, but he did cut in front of me. And then he made a quick right turn right here. But then when he did this, I saw him, and I swerved this way. Because I swerved, when I swerved, I was trying to barely miss him, and I almost missed him completely, and it caught him just barely right there. And that's what hit him right there.
So your diagram shows that the two of you were in separate lanes at the initial point, and then as you moved forward, he cut in according to you.
And then when he went to make the turn, it was so quick in front of me that I swerved to the left, and that's why I barely even caught him. And that's why there's no damage to the front of my car if you look at the damage.
Okay, yeah. So you can return to your seat, and let's pull up, since you've mentioned it, the damage to your vehicle. And this is Exhibit A of the defendant's evidence, and this shows the damage to your vehicle. Was that all of the damage?
Yes. Actually, the nick on the bumper is actually from something else. It's just on the fender is where the damage is. The little dent, you can't even see it really on the fender, but it's just a little crease on the fender.
Okay, so your car was basically not damaged.
Yeah. I almost missed him, believe me. It was like inches.
Okay, so Mr. Blastek, these are your photographs. This is Exhibit A. You obviously have more damage. We can clearly see that damage. And that's often the case with rear endings.
Yes.
But still not significant body damage. The bumper wasn't hit in. This seems like more of a kind of scrape. Is that how it happened, or was it a harder impact than that?
It was harder, but it wasn't a lot of damage. And, you know, the whole thing, I have no problem with him. He was a stand-up guy the whole way. You know, at the scene, he was great. He called me a couple times afterwards. No problem with him. The damage isn't a problem because his insurance paid for that. The problem is with the rental car and with the bodily injury.
So let me ask you specifically about your pain and suffering claim. Okay. Because one of the things that you claimed is that you went to see a doctor, they took an x-ray and discovered tissue damage. So I've got a couple little kids at home who are studying the human body right now. And you have to forgive me if this is wrong, but an x-ray is a picture of bones.
Right.
How can you detect tissue damage on an x-ray of the shoulder?
I don't believe they did. But there was damage to the shoulder. There was pain.
Okay. So you don't believe that the x-ray is what determined the tissue damage?
No. So I got the x-ray. After that, the doctor referred me to physical therapy. That's where, you know, I just went there to solve the pain.
So do you have any proof that this type of accident caused tissue damage? Because that's very significant. That's something where we might want to entertain a claim for pain or suffering.
Well, I had no pain before the accident. I had pain afterwards. It wasn't great pain either. It was, it's going to get better. And the only reason I went and sought medical attention, after 6-7 weeks, it didn't get better. I couldn't move. I couldn't reach. I mean, I could do it, but it bothered me. It was.
And so you ended up having physical therapy for some time?
Yes.
And your health insurance, you submitted the claims to them?
They covered the whole cost.
They covered the physical therapy. Yeah. So at least your medical insurance believed that they had satisfactory evidence that you needed this physical therapy.
Correct.
And after the physical therapy was complete, are you still experiencing pain?
Not really. A little bit, but nothing serious.
And was this something that prevented you from going to work, gatherings? Because we have to, if we...
It was more, I couldn't swing a golf club. I couldn't play tennis. I couldn't throw a ball. I mean, I could do those things, but it was
painful
bothersome,
to do so.
Yeah.
And there's no other reason that this pain could have happened other than this accident?
No.
Mr. Ostopacides, do you think that there is any way that this accident could have caused significant shoulder pain?
No, I don't. I mean, I've been in bumper cars where I've hit harder than this, okay? And it's just, the fact of the matter is that he was actually going to the doctor's office when I hit him. He was pulling into the doctor's office. I'm not sure what for, but all I know is that this accident could have never done any damage like this. It wasn't going fast enough. That's what my insurance company said, too. They said, there's no way, there's not enough damage here to consider it.
Mr. Blastek, you're under no obligation to tell us why you were headed to the doctors, only that it wasn't related to the shoulder injury you ended up having, correct?
No, it was my primary care for a checkup.
For a checkup.